What's up, motherfuckers? Alright. Be comfortable and annoy you at the same time. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Episode number 2 of Healthy Living. This is a concept I got from somebody else, and unfortunately, I have no freaking clue who it was, so I can't give them credit. But, whatever. Hopefully, it's for the greater good, and you learn something from it. He didn't actually title it. I know it was a male. He didn't actually entitle it anything. He just mentioned it pretty briefly. So I'm going to put a title to it. 80-20 rule. What is the 80-20 rule? So the 80-20 rule is essentially... sorry. Being like OCD all of a sudden with my angles here. Provide 80% of your own internal validation and leave 20% for external validation. Now, the concept behind this is obviously that you need to be able to internally validate yourself, in everyday life, in every situation. But at the same time, we are social creatures. We are, genetically inclined to be social. So you leave only 20% up to other people. Now, from what I recall, how this guy came about it is he was, I guess you would call self-actualized, aware of himself, and he realized that he was spending an exuberant amount of effort trying to get approval and validation from other people. So, realizing that, he decided that he would no longer seek validation from external sources. So he went a little bit too far off the deep end and secluded himself for several years to just kind of work through it. But by the end of that couple of years, he realized that secluding yourself completely is also not healthy. You need to socialize. You need to be social. If you're not, that's also a problem. So he came up with the 80-20 rule. 80% internal validation, 20% external validation. Now, I like this for so many reasons because it's completely and utterly true. You need to be able to function without other people. But also, you need other people to be mixed in here and there just because that's just the way we operate, really. So it makes just so much sense. I also like it because me being a mechanic, it's very akin to a car's braking system. Now, typically a car has inside the braking system what's called distribution block. And what this distribution block does is sends 80% of the pressure, the hydraulic pressure, to the front brakes and 20% to the back, roughly, normally about that. Here's the thing. With a car, if you cap off the rear brakes, like just completely delete them, cap them off so that all the pressure is just 80% to the front, the car will still function. It's still drivable. It's still perfectly functionable. Now, if you were to do, the opposite and put something like 80% to the back and 20% to the front, you'd actually have some serious problems. So not only in life does this apply, and something that you should do and strive for, but it also works in the mechanical world. If you think of yourself as a car, without that 20% in the back, you can still function. You're still fine. You're still operable. Maybe not optimal, but operable. Same with life. If you have that 80% of internal validation, you can get through whatever the fuck you need to get through. 20% is nice to have. It's a little add-on, but not necessarily needed to function. You can still get through day to day. So, it really struck a chord with me, as far as the mechanical. And honestly, what I have to say is that's kind of the area I'm at now. And this area is nice and comfortable. I mean, I do still love to socialize. I still like to socialize, of course. I still kind of want it, uh, in a way. But if I don't have it, it doesn't affect me. um, so a good kind of example for that, um, and from my own personal experience, when I was probably like, I don't know, I think I was probably about 26, and I was sitting on the couch one night, and I was bored to death. I like back in those days, I had to socialize. If I wasn't socializing, I felt like something was wrong, like something was terribly amiss. That's the best way I can explain it. Anyway, I caught myself on the couch one night, literally just sending out text messages to pretty much all the contacts in my phone. Now, this wasn't because I actually wanted to hang out with them. This wasn't because they were important figures in my life. It was just because, like, literally, I was just looking for something to do so that I wasn't alone. Um, and in that moment, I realized I was like, wow, I'm really dependent on other people here. So I actually did kind of a similar thing with him when I realized as I stopped doing it. Once you notice a problem, once you realize a problem, then you can change it. So that's what I did, and I probably went a little bit overboard too and cut myself off a little bit too much. But in the long term, it worked out. But had I heard about the 80-20 rule beforehand, I think that probably would have made the transition a bit smoother. Um, Again, you can't cut yourself off from all socializing. You can't cut yourself off from all communication with other people. It's simply not healthy. But if you modulate it into the 80-20, I think that is a good area to be. Even if it's not even 20, if it's 70-30 or even 60-40. I mean, it's going to grow. But it's absolutely something that I think we all should strive for, especially if we've been victims of abuse, where we've been so heavily reliant on others' opinions and approval. It's just honestly just completely sound advice, and I'm pretty upset that I can't figure out who the hell actually said that because it was so long ago. But it stuck with me, and I see it day by day. Like 80% just being comfortable with yourself, and then the other 20, save that for socializing. Without it, you can still function. You'll still be fine. But it's nice to have. Um, relatively short video, but hopefully you enjoy, and hopefully it has brought you some enlightenment. Um, if not, maybe share it. I wish I would have known about it years and years ago, back when I was 26 and striving to get attention wherever I could. I a semi not narcissistic but more codependent way. All right. Anyway, I'm done for tonight. Tell me what you think. Thanks, guys.